Atonement will not be found by imprisoning him. I cannot wholeheartedly blame him for his actions right now. Before this happened, he did not do stuff like this, other than the time that he thought Saber died. In a way, we can blame this on Valen for what is happening to him, and the running darkness throughout the galaxy that's consuming him. Channeling the pain and suffering he's feeling to himself. This is the Vanguard's Grand Vault. You were so curious what was behind the door? It's everything the Vanguard's ever done. We log every single piece of knowledge, everything. When the Dark Empire crisis was over, you were going to be able to see this. I wasn't going to keep
Wait,
it for you forever.
it's just data?
It's the Honor Guard's training area. It's where all sorts of artifacts and everything is stored.
Of course, there are secrets that we don't want you knowing.
Door's a bit too fast closing.
This is the Artifact Vault. This is what you want? You want dark side knowledge? You want to tap into all the things that you should not be able to touch?
Not really, no. I merely wanted to know what was back here. I didn't necessarily want to take it.
Do you understand why this area is so important?
I believe I do understand now, yes.
If enemies ever got their hands on any of this, it would be over. But this is the most powerful tool we have. It's just a grand vault meant to store everything and everything, from orbital bombardments to anything. And this being below the main base, very deep under the base, it means it won't be endangered. Kill the man over it, over knowledge.
I see. I have been very foolish.
Pursuit of power and knowledge is not going to work. You said Valen taught you that to be better you must have all the knowledge so no one else could be besting you. Knowledge is a thing that not everyone should know everything.
Some knowledge will get you killed.
Like this.
What is that?
A holocron.
Tilo's holocron that everyone sought after. The Empire wants this, and everyone wants this. Do you want it too? Is this what you need? Is to delve into the secrets of this holocron?
No. No.
Why? I thought you followed the dark path. I thought you knew the Sith code.
You have been very candid with me, boss. And you have placed enough trust in me to show me this. So I will place enough trust in you to tell you straight. my exact feelings.
Do it then.
I had believed there was something behind this door that would perhaps incriminate you, or prove that the Vanguard is not who I believed them to be. I believed that I was being deceived and used for some own goal that I did not know of.
By who?
What gave you this idea?
I've been filled with many doubts recently about everything.
You think you're on the wrong side of history, that the Dark Empire is correct? You think we're the bad
No.
guys?
No, but perhaps I had considered that maybe I should have just run from Valen and hid in some far-off corner of the galaxy. I was worried, perhaps, that I was jumping out of the lap of one monster and into the lap of another. But I was a fool. And I'm sorry. And I will accept whatever punishment you deem necessary.
1 second. Sparrow, I need to do something. Open up your central cortex.
Understood.
central
Doing
corner
so
cortex.
now.
This will, wipe the last 20 minutes of visual feed and expunge classified data. It's a precaution measure.
Understood.
Don't need you uploading this data to somewhere else outside of this area. You'll get audio memory, so you can still listen to what you'd say what the weak Force user would probably bitching about. What do you think, Dax? You still want him in prison? Do you want him dead?
I don't even know. I just don't want another one of my friends betraying me. K1.
It was not my intention, Dax, but I understand completely. Your anger is justified. I have disappointed all of you and betrayed you in a way that I cannot undo. All I can say is that I was wrong. I thought that the Vanguard were playing me for fools, but I was playing myself for a fool the entire time.
I'm having deja vu, God. You know what I mean, Dax?
Yeah?
This feels like hit Loafer again. It just feels like this is the heavy situation where I have to give forgiveness and say go between the light and the dark. Yada yada. No. You want to stick with us? You have two choices. Redirect the dark side to our enemies and to never use it on us ever again. Or, the better option, renounce the dark path and leave it for good. Haven't you noticed what has happened to you in the last few months? Sure, it's good for our enemies, but you're also ruining the lives of people here. You willingly did not have to cut the man in half. You did that to sate your own need for lust of power.
I admit, it did feel good in a way that I'm not entirely comfortable with.
You can't give
It
into
felt
that feeling,
like-
Nick.
It felt like I was writing my will onto the galaxy in blood.
What will it be then?
I... But without the power of the dark side, how can I possibly be of help against the Dark Empire?
I said you didn't have to renounce it. It was just the wiser choice to. Down the path, you might have incidents like this again. But I'm not one to dictate your pathway. I went down it before. So has Avi. Every
But
Jedi
if
or
you-
Force user is tested by the temptation of the dark side. It's your path. It's your choice to accept it or not. I am not here to sway it.
But you said it would be wiser to renounce it. But would it be wiser strategically? I would be less useful as a fighter.
Renouncing it is not as easy as saying I won't do it anymore.
I'm aware. But I would have to intentionally reel back my brutality and restrain myself. Which would
Nick,
make
the
me
light side
Bosco.
has power of its own. It has strength of its own. Don't believe everything Valen told you. Take it for someone who's fought alongside Jedi. The light side can still do a hell of a lot on the battlefield, especially against Sith.
Then I will attempt to climb back out of the darkness that Valen has plunged me into.
I feel you will not be able to escape it, though, is my concern. There's too many attachments to your dark paths. They're going to test you. You have to, when you run into them, be better than them. Tapping back into this or remembering your teaching, giving into them, is just going to bring you right back to where we are right now. Except you fall again, and I don't think that the people around you would be willing to spare you, even if I said not kill you.
I understand. I simply ask that you be patient with me as I attempt to recover from what Valen has done to me. I will not ask you to spare me if I fall again. But I do ask that you be patient as I adjust.
Nick, you're more gifted than you ever could think of. I've seen your tests. I've seen your progress. You're squandering gifts in the sake of power in the short term when you could be much more powerful in the long term. With the light. The dark side's a shortcut that eats at you, ages you, kills you from the inside out. Going down this path is going to guarantee you power, but at the cost that you'll lose your life, your morality, and everything. The two droids here can attest to that happening throughout history.
Indeed.
Do you honestly think there is a chance that I could come back from the dark side?
You questioning it is enough that there's a chance. Most pure Darksiders believe there is no redemption, or the path is I die before I renounce the dark side. They're too addicted to the power to even think of giving it up.
I would give up this power if it meant regaining the friendships I've lost. To regain
Now,
the trust that I had.
for the rest of you, is that okay? Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
Maybe I've forgotten some teachings of my own.
There may be hope for you yet, Stride.
I'll give you a chance, Nick.
That's all I
Use it
ask.
wisely.
You won't regret it, Dax. I will make this up to you, this I swear on my honor.
Huh, you said that
Dax?
completely unironically, huh?
Now there's something I need to talk to you while everyone else is here. You.
Alright.
I'm gonna
lay it
say
on
the
me.
word. You pull the saber.
Boss, he betrayed us. He killed a member of the Vanguard. I
Yeah,
saw his dead body. And not
That's
to
not
mention,
pulling a
he
saber.
lied to me multiple times when I tried to get him out of this. I thought we'd really lost him this time.
You're his comrade. You're not his teacher or, lead.
That's what I thought of him as too, a friend. And what I saw in that chamber was another friend betraying me. Telling me that my trust was misplaced, that I shouldn't have trusted him, that he didn't trust me, he didn't respect me.
And your first thought was to kill him.
It wasn't my first thought, but I didn't want to have to deal with another A1.
A1's not lost to us, you know.
Well, the longer this goes on and the more we hear from him, the more it feels that way.
He's only lost his way, like Nick. As a droid, he'll figure it out in due time once his empire starts crumbling.
That is
All
one
that the
advantage
galaxy
of
needs is
droids.
faltering.
A lot more logical.
Well, I hope that's how it goes then.
I know the strain of what's happening in the galaxy is worrying on you heavily. The fact that the constant attacks on Naboo, your family had to be relocated in secret, HC having to threaten them, get you to stand down.
Now we have to worry about treachery within our own ranks. It's a hell of a thing to come back to, you know.
I know. A man in the military's work is never done, even when he's retired. Oh, see, was it an actual data pad?
No. It's the data that I had Saber take.
Okay.
I'm giving it to Boss as well.
What's this data pad, Nick? His info.
It wasn't something I was going to part with until I could be sure I could trust you, and I can. This is more or less a complete backup of Valen's servers.
Fun and all, but it's probably going to take longer than it will have to fight Valen to actually get the info off this.
yeah, that thing's huge.
Perhaps Saber can work on it. If we
It's
could
running.
crack it,
Work on
it
it.
is literally everything.
It's been running.
It's going to take a long time for this, but that's rather fortunate.
You might need to actually help with that then, because you've been with Valen, you've seen how he operates, so you should be able to know how to identify the most important stuff.
No, he wouldn't.
Unfortunately,
never
Valen was quite
inside the
secretive
military.
about his own archive.
Nick was a trainee in his temple. And the second he got given his right-hand man's access, he betrayed him. He never, ever got a chance to look at anything.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is my hope, however, that if Valen's intention was for us to meet with Palpatine, that perhaps the star charts we are looking for might be included inside, if we could crack them.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. There's no way Valen would be stupid enough to archive secret Dark Empire stuff in his data. It's probably in his desk.
Fair. Still, perhaps it could be something of use, even if it's as simple as schematics for some of these new vehicles they're fielding.
The new vehicles they're fielding are subpar. They're not good on purpose.
Quantity over quality, I suppose. That would explain their strategy with the TIE droids.
The World Devastators turn the material they harvest straight into TIE droids in seconds. Let's go. When the Dark Empire situation is over, and if we win, you have access to this. Get away from it.
Alright.
Yeah, look, don't touch.
That one's not even labeled Sparrow, so I guess that's probably extremely important.
No, we're just lazy. Rather than have everything labeled, so you can't just walk in and steal what you need.
What is this?
This is the Galactic Star Chart.
I've seen a chart this elaborate since the Jedi Temple.
It's beautiful.
To get a good glimpse, you have here. It's hard to comprehend the scale of this without it. Now that we're here, though, I can discuss something. So, this way is south, this way is north. Palpatine is striking from somewhere in the core here. There's something there that we cannot locate or figure out. We're hoping, then, that this information, Nick, you have will give some sort of insight into what is there, or how to get there. We have been trying for a week and a half with our probes. Whatever isn't intercepted is destroyed in hyperspace jumps. The Empire knows people are looking at the deep core.
Yep.
So we are right in that assessment.
Shows the best place to do it. Possible to get past those black holes. No one's done it, except for him, apparently.
We're thinking this is a communal-like situation. We are looking through the Eclipse's databanks to see outside of the many vaults to see if we can find a lead. Fortunately, the amount of data on the Eclipse was incomprehensible. It's a miracle Zahn figured what he wanted.
So what do we know about the core? Is that where Palpatine's war machine is coming from? His fleet? Or is it just his own location?
There's a Warfleet planet there. From what we know, his fleets were assembled over some sort of planet or planets in there. So they built the Eclipse there after it was moved from Kuwait.
That would explain how us on it without anyone knowing.
everyone's knowledge, they thought the eclipse was destroyed when Kuat was attacked. So it's showing up now as a red flag to everyone. When the newly forced to attack Kuat, they were driven away by the Imperial response fleet that showed up. And when they came back, the dockyard that the eclipse was at was scuttled. So they thought the ship was also scuttled, because it was not even close to completion. The superstructure hadn't even been done yet.
I
So,
wonder how they transported it.
probably working engines. Or they had one of those absurdly massive fleet tenders carry it. You know what I'm
Do you
talking
have
about,
any
Dax?
ideas, Saber?
Oh yeah, the Altor class.
Those things would probably be the only thing capable of transporting such a Goliath beast through hyperspace.
Yeah, they probably would have needed multiple.
Or they custom built one to do it. Much easier to publicly build an Altor with a custom modification than it is to build an Executor. Anyways, that's that. And there's not much else remarkable about the Grand Vault. There's training areas, there's living quarters, there's combat droids, there's lightsaber stims. But it's all not that remarkable.
It's not too different from our old temple archives and training areas. It's bigger and way more secure this time.
Here's Saber's old room before it got deconstructed when he came back. Impressive, right?
Hmm?
It is, yes.
A lot of data.
For an egghead like Saber, this must be Nirvana.
You look more like an egg right now.
I've gotten news. Unfortunately, the honor guard you attacked will not make it. Cut too close to his midsection.
I have made a decision.
What?
I will no longer use my lightsabers until I believe that I am capable of controlling myself.
That is a bold statement, but this is wartime. There's no time to be weakening yourself for ideological reasons.
Nick, your weapon isn't the problem. It's how you use.
I suppose, but I'm just worried that in the heat of battle, I'll lose myself and I'll go too far again.
I mean, if you don't have a lightsaber, if you lose yourself, you can just shoot us. Point is,
Yeah, the lightsaber is an extension of oneself. Sure, you can see that. But you know what also is? You lose your temper, you can just pull out a rocket launcher, down bleeding and just blast him twice. Because you felt like it.
yeah, I even
The
watched you
lightsaber.
almost do that the other day.
That part doesn't count. That guy was egging me on. That doesn't count, Dex. That's not fair.
That's still one of your allies.
Acquaintances. Co-workers, perhaps.
But either way,
Allied
your
coworkers.
weapons. But either way, your weapons aren't your problem. Your force isn't your problem. You just need to learn to let go, to control yourself. You need to remember
You
who
raise a
your
fair
allies
point.
and friends really are.
I do apologize, Dax. Ever since my return, everyone's been cold and distant, but it's also been my own fault. I haven't been myself.
Well, I'm hoping we can get yourself back.
I would like things to go back to the way they were before I left for Valen.
So do we, but that's gonna take work on your part. I hope you're truly ready to dedicate yourself.
I had
Sparrow?
the willpower to get myself
Yes.
into this mess. Hopefully I can have the willpower
Dax,
to get myself out
or
of it.
Saber, one of you guys, once you leave, remove the device from inside Sparrow and crush it.
Alright.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
I hope you've learned something here, Nick. You can talk to me later.
Well then, guess we'll get going so we can get this junk out of me.
Is it just
Alright.
me or has Saber not said a
Portal's gonna
single
open
word?
for us.
And, I don't really need to talk.
He's just quiet.
You know what? I have an idea, Saber.
What?
How about you come to my office and we watch the Hutball game next week?
There is
Been
no
a while
Hutball
since
game.
we've
been
Hutball's
canceled.
been cancelled.
Anyways, there's the portal.
The Rotworms
No.
all
I'm outta here.
died. Dark Empire
No.
attack. And one of the,
Dark Empire
but those
will be
two
destroyed.
commentators we like, one of them
something's
actually is
not right
fighting
here.
the
Ain't
Empire
working.
right now.
Dark Empire can enslave people, they can kill billions, but they touch my fucking Hutball.
Yeah.
Palpatine's as good as dead.
The
Alright, well let's
Commentator-
get lunch.
yeah, the commentator that went off to fight the Empire, he vowed that Hutball would return when they're gone. So not all is lost.
Alright,
Well then
somebody
let's
do this a
destroy
favor
the
and
Dark
take us out
Empire
of
and
my
then
core.
catch a Hutball game.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
Alright then, Dax
Goodbye.
or Danik, one of you, take this out of my power core. I can clean
Oh,
it
yeah.
up.
Oh,
Do that.
Sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you do that.
Do you think he'll actually follow through with this?
There's a high probability, but you never know.
Concerned about his past catching up with him. He's gonna run into Valen and he's gonna fall right back down because Valen knows exactly what to do to trigger his emotions. So is that rival he met on Telos.
Hmm.
He's going to fall back down. But if he can persevere through the Dark Empire crisis, however long that takes for us to win, he'll come back. But until then, his future's too clouded to be guaranteed one way or another.
Yeah.
Either way, There's still the issue, though. I need him monitored by a spy drone. Inserted on his ship that can remotely deactivate his ship if he ever does something like this again. Now, I'm not one to intrude privacy, so no listening devices inside his room. Free to do it whenever else you feel. I noticed that he seemed to distract you with this data right before he came down here in a rush. Do you think that was so he wouldn't have to fight you?
Possibly.
Foresee him coming down here?
No.
Did say whatever happens. There's a lack of foresight on your end in that matter. You should have figured he was going to do something drastic and had warned someone.
Thought he was just gonna
But,
leave.
Still to report stuff like this. Him leaving. He's not allowed to leave with how much he knows. Lower rank, sure, they can go if they please. However, if you know the grand secrets, what's to stop you from going right to our enemies, sell them for a few billion credits, and have the entire organization doomed? The whole faction. Either way, they don't know about Dee's room and your room. And I intend to keep that secret no matter what. I might show Dax.
Yeah, that's fine.
If that's okay. Alright. Well, I've got to get going myself, and you got to get going. So, yeah. There's your portal. It will lead you to your room.